Today I'm going to start adding things to the car to make it so it's not just a car that has a bed in the back, but it's a car camper. Make sure you stay to the end of the video because I'm going to show you how I've modified my bed a little bit to make it just that much more comfortable. The first thing I've done is I've actually added a little carpet. This was, I think I got this at Walmart, and it was just the right size to cover the back of the car and have a little bit up the front there so it overhangs the top of the back seat, and it kind of protects things up there as well. This is nice having this here because it keeps things from banging, but this might prove to be a bit of a pain, so I may end up just cutting making a cut down here and on the other side to make this part here lay flat. This is the first thing I'm going to add. It's a wooden chest that I've had for many years, and I'm not really using it for anything important right now, so I thought this would work quite well in the car camper, and I really like wood, so I think this is going to be a great box to store dry goods in and use as a work surface for cooking on, cutting on, setting my cup of coffee on, whatever. But it fits perfectly in between the wheel well and the bed. The next thing I'm going to add is this little plastic drawer set. I have this one which has the 3 drawers in it, and they're deeper drawers. I also have one that's a little bit wider that has 4 drawers in it, but they're not as deep, and I'm not sure which one is going to work the best. I got them both at a secondhand store. They're a lot more expensive than they used to be. Last time I checked, they were over $30 Canadian to buy them. But if you see on the price here, if I can do it without the drawers all falling out, I only paid $7.99 for this one. It was dirty, but I threw it in the bathtub and cleaned it up, sprayed it with some bleachy cleaner, and it's perfectly good to use. Now I have to get the drawers back in. So this is going to go around the front of the little wooden box. So this can go this way with the drawers facing in towards the bed, or I can turn it around this way so the drawers are facing the front of the car, which makes it so I can access all 3 drawers. Because the bed is there, the bottom drawer becomes kind of useless because I can't open it. So if I end up having it facing the bed, I'm going to remove the bottom drawer from this and just make it a shelf. So the next thing I want to add is my water system. It's pretty simple, and I don't see any reason why it's not going to work, but I'm always open to changes. So this is what I've picked out and actually bought new. So I picked up this little white stool from, I think it's a Rubbermaid stool, I think, and these 2.5 gallon water jugs. I tried to buy these on Amazon, but they were a lot more expensive than buying them at Walmart. So if you're looking for something like this, don't just order from Amazon, check Walmart first. They were way cheaper. They were $16 each at our Canadian Walmart, and online they were over $30 and higher for the same product. So yeah, check Walmart. So the little stool is going to be what the jugs sit on, and we'll make it so I can get underneath the taps to be able to fill up water jugs, cooking pot, wash my hands, whatever. The little stool is going to sit here at the back of the car, and then the water jugs are just going to sit on top of it. Now obviously they're going to want to move all over the place, and having water jugs sloshing around and falling off and getting the back of the car all wet is not going to be great. So that's where these little bungees that the previous owner left in the car come in really handy. The little ball on the end of this one fits through the handles and comes around and attaches to this one that I've added in here with a hook on it, and hooks through there. So now my water containers are nice and secure in here and aren't going to fall over while I'm driving down the road, and I don't have to move them every time I need to move. I may only keep one of them on this little stool. It depends on how much water I go through and how fast I go through it. if I don't go through it very quickly, I may take one of these off like so and store it up front and just keep the one on here. The bungee holds it steady against the side of the car, and it leaves a bunch of surface space to put things on in the car. So I could use this for, I don't know, we'll figure something out, but but it is nice to have flat surfaces to put things on. It makes it so the water jug is not sitting right on the top of the stool. It's actually pulled to the side, but it's still holding it up, and it's going to hold it secure. So this will work quite well, and when it's full of water, of course, it's going to be a lot more sturdy. The next thing I'm going to put in is something that I will use when I'm camped and can pull things out of the car to use outside of the car. So this is a TV table. These were really big back in the 60s and 70s when I was a kid. They fold out like so, and they make a little table. So I can set the little table down outside the back of the car, and I can actually cook on this, I can eat on it, I can put my computer on it, if I'm camping somewhere where I can actually set up a camp. But where am I going to put it? In the car, so it's not in the way while I'm traveling and not being able to set up in a campground. I have a place for it. I did get this secondhand at a secondhand store for $4, and it's wood. So you can get metal ones too, but I was thinking a metal one would probably do a lot more rattling while I'm traveling, whereas I like wood, so wood is always a bonus. So first of all, I'm going to undo the water jug that I just put in here. This is going to slide in between the stool and the wooden chest and the wheel well. So there we go. Now I can add the water jugs back, and everything is nice and secure in the back, and I have a table that I'll be able to use when I'm camping. I also have these little hooks that I found on Amazon when I was buying the car seat covers. They hook around the supports for the headrest, and you just hook these little hooks on there, and they make it so you have a place to hang things. I think these are going to be really handy for hanging things on while I'm traveling. Things like maybe a dish towel or a face cloth that I want to dry out, or a bag with something in it that I want to be able to access quickly, or hanging a little light on. I don't know. I think there's going to be all kinds of uses for these little hooks, and they were cheap enough. I'll leave a link for them down below if you're interested. Now, as far as keeping food in the car camper that I need to keep cold, namely my coffee cream and my romaine lettuce and butter and eggs and cheese, I don't need a lot of space for cold food, but I do need some space. So what I want to do is I want to put it underneath my head of the bed in this space down here. And you can see I've got this little, I think it's a Rubbermaid cooler that we've had for years and years and years. And I actually had to search all over the house and all of our outbuildings to try and find it. Finally did. It fits perfectly in here behind the front seat, with the front seat in the position that I want it to be in. So I don't want to have to be sliding that front seat back and forth. I just want it to be set in that place and not have to fiddle with it. It's right where I want it to be. I can still fold the seat forward to make a table, and Gracie can access the litter box that I'm putting in at the front of the car for her in the footwell where the passenger would put their feet. So I'll show you the cooler and how well it fits in there. So to access the cooler, I will have to pull the mattress for the bed back so I can get to the cooler. And there's the cooler underneath where my pillow will go. And this is going to be Gracie's bathroom. It's a nice sized plastic container that is a little bit higher than a normal litter box. There's not enough room here to have a covered litter box like she uses at home, but it's big enough for her and it's deeper, and I think it's going to work quite well. So the last thing I'm adding to the car today is these two plastic little totes down here. And I think that is what I'm going to store my clothing in. Then I have all the areas underneath, but I'll show you what I'm going to put in those in another video. I decided to sleep in here one night to try out the bed while I was parked in the driveway. About halfway through the night, I realized that sleeping on my side, I was feeling the bottom of the car. So the mattress wasn't as firm or as thick as I needed it to be comfortable all night long. So I ended up going back into the house and sleeping in my bed. But the next day I came out and I figured out what to do about making the bed more comfortable. And I'll show you what I did now. Where the seat is right now is where I want the seat to stay while I'm traveling. I don't want to be moving the seat back and forth. So that is the position that it's going to be in for traveling. And you can see the mattress is pushed up against the back of the seat. That would be okay, except that because of that pressure, it's making everything else shift down, and the mattress is coming down past the point that I want it to, and when the back is open, that's a bit of a pain. So I'm constantly feeling like I need to shift everything back into place so that the cutout part goes around the wheel well. So I'm going to cut off probably, I think about 4 inches. I'm going to measure it, but I'm going to cut off some from up the top there. I have my trusty IKEA serrated knife. These are pretty good knives if you're looking to buy inexpensive knives for your RV. So I cut this chunk off of the top of the bed here, and it fits a lot better. Yeah, it fits much better without that few extra inches on there. So I have 2 of the self-inflating thermarest type mattresses that you use for hiking generally. Because you can add air to them or take air out, you can make them as hard or as soft as you like. And I think that, it's very windy today, I think that adding these 2 is going to make a big difference in the comfort of the mattress and my getting a good night's sleep while I'm car camping. So the little one, this is quite a short one, you can see it's almost like it's kid size. I'm going to put underneath the mattress, and this one, which is a full-length one, I'm going to put on top of the mattress. Because this only needs to be where my body is, I'm going to put it at the top end of the mattress. And because these are also narrower than your average twin-size bed, they fit on top of the foamy without me having to cut them. I wouldn't be able to cut them anyway, but they fit quite well on my adapted foamy for the bed. The next thing I'm going to do a little bit differently is I'm still using my fitted sheet to go over the mattress, but I'm going to use some of the elastic sheet clips that I did a video about these, long time ago, a couple years ago anyway. I'll leave a link down below for you if you're interested in seeing how I use them so that my bed is way easier to make in the RV. But I'm going to use these because it's not a regular size twin mattress. These become quite loose and kind of baggy on the car camper mattress. So I'm going to use the clips to tighten it up around the mattress and make it fit better. So I have 2 different kinds of clips to attach sheets to your mattress. So now this one has like a little suspender clip on it where the little button here goes like that and it closes it up. These ones are different. They have a little, this is a silicone-y type of little tab with a little button on the top that you put into this circle right here, and then you push it up into the top of the little metal part. So I've got both of these, and I'm going to use both of these because this is all I have left. So I'm going to show you how I'll make the sheet for this smaller sized mattress fit way better. So I flipped the mattress over to make it easier to apply these little clips to it, and you can see how I've arranged them. And I mean, the corners here are still loose. The elastic really isn't doing anything at all to form itself around the mattress. I'm going to add some probably to my blankets at the bottom so that they stay tucked in at the bottom of the bed here. But it doesn't look pretty on this side, so that looks a lot better, and it's going to be a lot more comfortable not having all that excess sheet hanging around underneath me while I'm sleeping. and making it harder to make the bed in the morning, because I am the kind of person, I do need to make my bed every morning, whether it's in the camper or at home or in the RV. So I think this setup is going to work quite well for my needs. I am completely open to changing it, taking stuff out, finding different stuff. It's all going to be experimental for the first little while until I figure out what works the best. But I think this is going to be pretty good. If anyone has any ideas or suggestions or just comments about how I've set up my car camper, I would love to hear them down in the comments. Now I can start filling it up with all the stuff that I will need for car camping.